Hello everyone, Pommy Biker here, and so this is just an update video to say I'm still alive, I'm still riding. This is the Pommy Biker mobile. Basically I'm riding it every day still. It's done over 24,000 kilometers, and yeah, just recently had its major service, so that cost 1,100 Aussie dollars. If you're interested in knowing, and there have been some problems, not major mechanical failures or anything like that, but some problems that you really need to know about that I've had. Funny thing is, the day before riding this to get its major service, I had the fork seals had blown on the right hand side fork. That's all fixed now. So on top of that, that cost me $460 on top of the $1,100 for the major service. So I got really hurt that day. So let's get cracking then. There was one thing found with the major service. When they took the belly pan off, there was like oil on the inside of the belly pan. And the left hand side cover was sealed properly, there's nothing wrong with that. What they think is right here, you see this little thing here, it's a little, what is essentially a sensor or some kind of temperature gauge, I'm not sure what, but basically they just kind of plugged that in without sealing it, and so they've sealed that in as well. Not sure if you can see that there, but that isn't typically sealed, or wasn't in my case on the 2017 bike. Very little bit of oil, but it was losing some oil, and there you go. I guess I won't know if that was a success until I take the belly pan off again, you know, 1,000 clicks down the line, or if my oil is starting to look a little bit light. We're just going to say that hopefully that fixed it. I've also got some Chinese rear sets with some expensive foot pegs. It's just rear sets. I'm not really going to talk about rear sets in this video, it's not what it's about. So one thing to make clear is, say hello Tammy.
Hello!
That's my daughter. One thing to make clear is that there have been no false neutrals. So yeah, still no false neutrals, never been a problem for me, hopefully it never will be. My old tyres were Bridgestone S21s, and if you know anything about profile tyres, and if you don't read into it, I'm not going to go into it on this video, but I get the 55 profile for the rear, and when I got the S21s it was a major improvement. Those tyres were amazing. I run them at the right pressures for commuting and the right pressures for track days, and in 2 track days and 12 months with 14 kilometer commutes one way and 14 kilometer commutes the other way, they lasted 12 months every day, and 2 track days. They lasted 12 months, and they probably still had 2,000 kilometers left in them. The only reason why I decided to change them is I'm planning on doing more track days, and they had flat spots basically. 12 months, really good tyre, S21s. I was going to go for the S22s, but I had the opportunity to change over to the Rosso Diablo Corsa 2s, or whatever they're called. Basically I've had this tyre for like a couple of days, and I tried to scrub them in yesterday. I didn't get too much low on this side, and they're not really scrubbed in. It's just take the shine off on a normal road before I can then take it to the track. I can't really talk much about those, haven't had them long enough, but the S21s I can, so by default I'm going to recommend the S22s. I've seen people get elbowed down on those, so S22s seem like a solid deal for those looking for mileage. I just really like the racier profile of the Rosso Corsa 2s for now, although lent right over, it still feels about as vague as an S21, if I'm honest, but it does seem to track better when leaned over. These Rosso Corsa 2s definitely do not tip in as fast as the S21s. That's because the S21 has a really steep front tyre. You're probably looking at my seat thinking, what's he done to his seat? So underneath is the real seat. I kind of put on this neoprene foam cover and taped it on so it doesn't go anywhere. And basically that's for extra grip on track. Works really well. These tank grips I actually made out of bathroom mat. So for about 20 bucks I did about 3 bikes. You get some bathroom mat, you turn it around, you sandpaper the smooth edge, and then you put double-sided sticky tape around that roughened edge that you did with the sandpaper, and you stick them on. So that was like a, you know, they're just as effective as those things that cost 100 bucks. So they're the issues. Let's talk about the issues. The power modes. The power modes kept flashing. Not sure if you can see this, but the power 122 is what I currently use on track and on the road. They were just flashing, and it meant that the bike could not decide what the power mode was, or the traction control was, or the engine braking, so they'll just all flash. And what would happen is that if I ever tried to change it, it just wouldn't register, and so it defaults to the default mode. So that default mode is power 1, traction control 2, engine braking 3. That's the default. And so I had a real problem with that. It was still under warranty at that time. I took it to Honda. They told me to obviously take it back to the dealer. The dealer worked on it. It took them ages to basically find that problem, and when they found what they thought was the problem, which they thought was the ECU, they ordered that from Japan, and Japan said they couldn't get the ECU for 6 months. 6 months for a brand new bike. So I was furious. I was like, no, you're gonna, you know, they can get bikes in the country quicker than they can get ECUs. So I called up Honda and I said, look, you either take this bike back if you're not going to support it, or you rip an ECU out of a brand new bike you just got sitting there waiting to be sold. That's exactly what they did, and I could put it in the ECU and it didn't make a difference. How silly is that? So they ended up changing the loom, the dash. Don't know why they changed the dash. It's not going to change the power modes. But while I was sitting there for what was ultimately 6 months with a loan bike, thinking, gosh, I want my bike back, I said, look, has anyone tried changing the left-hand switch gear? Because, you know, that button there changes the power modes. Guess what? They changed it, it fixed it. It was my idea. So I'm claiming full credit for that. Again, they had to rip that off of a brand new bike. I'm just furious that, and I blame the mechanics for not being good mechanics, but I'm blaming Honda for not being able to source parts within 6 months. It's ridiculous. Basically the power mode was fixed by fixing that. There you go, simple problem. They're always simple problems. What else is there to talk about this bike other than it's going on some more track days this year? Not a lot really. I mean, I've had lots of little things happen with it, like the fork seals, like the power modes, but everything else is going fine. And yeah, it's been going really good. Picture of me on my last track day on my weakest side, the right hand side, coming up now. But that's it, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. If there's anything particular that you want to see about this bike, then please let me know. Hopefully I'll get a camera sorted for the track day I do in a week or two time, because I can't use the helmet cam. Say goodbye, Tammy.
Goodbye. We hope you subscribe.
Yeah, we hope you subscribe and click on the what? What do we have to click on? The bell icon. Yeah, go on. Give that bell icon a nudge. Thank you, everyone.